Hello everyone, and welcome to a Minecraft Forge 1.6 installation tutorial. Today we're going to just do client installation. We're not going to worry about anything server side. I will do another video for server. This is going to be kind of an upgraded version of my original Forge installation tutorial that included both the client and the server. So let's hop right in here and take a look at what we're going to need. First, you're going to need to download Forge. I recommend getting the recommended version. So this is 9.11.1.916. As of the time of this recording, it is for 164. This is what we're going to work with because the mod that I've chosen to do this with is for 164. So what you're going to want to do is download the installer. Now, one thing to note is this is very dependent on the mod. The process is going to be the same for all of the 1.6 versions. Anything that is for 1.6, whether it's version 1, 2, 3, or 4, doesn't matter. The process is the same. You always want to download whatever version, the highest version that matches your mod. So for us, we're going to use the just released Ars Magica 2, which requires 9.11.1.916 on Forge 164. So that just happens to be the recommended build. If it required 917, then you would either need to download 917 or go with the latest. I would end up going with the latest myself, but go with the one that is most stable at that point. You're going to need to research which ones have more problems than others, but the recommended is usually the most stable out of the bunch. So you download the installer, and then you also might as well, since you're here, download the mods. Once you've got all that, we can start with the installation. So, I have everything all neatly packed right here. So I've got the Forge installer, I've got a shortcut to Minecraft. This just goes to my Minecraft exe file. You can see the location there is the default Minecraft installation. And then I've got the Ars Magica file. And this is just a basic zip file with the mod in it. And then I've got this folder, which is completely empty, which we will get to in a moment. So the hardest part of this is figuring out how to deal with this installer, because it's a jar file. Most Windows users are used to exe files. That's why the Minecraft file on Windows comes in an exe format. Forge does not have that. It just has the jar. So most installations, if you have Java installed correctly and haven't installed anything like WinRAR or 7-zip or WinZip, or haven't installed any of those and had them overwrite the linking to the jar file, when you double click on it, it should open up just like an exe file. Sadly, by default, I think WinZip and WinRAR overwrite this. So when you double click on the jar file, it's going to open up in those. Not ideal. So to fix that, what you have to do is you right click on the Forge installer, go to open with. If it slides out and gives you these options, any of the Java platform, you can click on that. That will execute it. If it doesn't slide out or you don't have those options, you have to either click on the open with, and that will open up another window, or choose default program, and that will, both of those options will open this open with window. If in here it lists the Java programs, and both of these I think on my system are the same, I'm not sure, and select those. I highly recommend always use this selected program. That's entirely up to you though. If you don't have these options, you have to go to Browse, and then you have to find your Java installation. 9 times out of 10, it's going to be under Program Files, Java. If you're running a 64-bit OS and you have 32-bit Windows, or if you're running a 64-bit Windows and you have a 32-bit Java, you're going to have to go to Program Files x86, or better, download the 64-bit Java. If you've got 64-bit Windows, there's no reason for you not to have 64-bit Java. But ultimately, when you go into the Java folder, you should see this JRE 7. In the future, it'll be JRE 8. In the past, it'll be JRE 6. Right now, JRE 7 is the latest. Don't worry about these two JDK folders. Those are the Java Development Kit. You generally won't have those unless you program in Java. So JRE 7, you go in there. Bin, and then you can either pick Java or Java W. They're both pretty much identical, except one has a W. Convention-wise, Java W on Windows. Every other OS, Java. So you would hit that, you would hit open. I'm going to click cancel because I already have it, and it'll populate the recommended program. Make sure it's selected, you click OK. Again, I'm going to click cancel because I already have it. Once you've got that, and you've kept that keep it default, you should be able to double click on it. If you did not have it set as default, then you're going to have to, for every jar file, you're going to have to right click, open with Java Platform. Either way, it gets you the same result. This mod system installer will launch for Minecraft Forge. What we are interested in is this install client. We're not going to worry about install server or extract. Now, what we want is this path. Unless you know that you've changed the path, don't touch this. So because I keep mine in just the default location, I'm going to use this. Like I said, unless you know you've changed the default path, don't touch this. So at this point, we just click OK. It'll do its thing. For mine, I already had Forge installed, so this was just an upgrade, so it's going to get 0 libraries. If it had to grab more, it's going to take a bit longer. Ultimately, the only thing you care about is this first 2 words, successfully installed. I've never seen anything else, but I'm sure there is another one. If it failed, it'll tell you. So just click OK. That's it. Forge is done. Forge itself is installed. If we open up the Minecraft launcher, we will now have in our profile box a new Forge profile that will be called, conveniently enough, Forge. So we're not done yet. You could be. You could go into this profile. Let me close the launcher again, and we will just open up the file location. You could just dump your mods in here and launch it with the Forge profile, and Bob's your uncle. You're going. Problem is, you do that, you've got, oh yeah, when you click on it, because it's not logged in, it'll ask you to log in. So you just log in with your profile. If you do that, what happens is anytime you switch, so if you switch between Forge and Vanilla, what'll happen is any of your options really are going to get overwritten by Vanilla, and then your Vanilla option is going to get overwritten by Forge, and it's just going to be a vicious cycle of you constantly having to change options, especially if you rebind your keys differently with Forge, with whatever Forge mods, than you do with Vanilla. And it's a hassle. You also have to worry about not opening up your save files because your save folder is shared. config folder doesn't matter for vanilla. But basically anything that's shared between the two, texture packs, or I guess resource packs now, they're all shared, and it can cause a headache. So what I recommend is you go in and you edit this Forge profile. You could create a new one. It's exactly the same, just if you just need one profile, just edit the Forge profile. Name it whatever you want. I'm going to name it, I always do 619, 916. This is what I'm naming it just because this is a temporary Forge profile for me. I'm going to be doing something a little different with the way I lay things out, but that's just how I am. For now, I'm just going to name it this. You can name it whatever you want. If you're going to have a specific mod or mod pack, name it that. Just something for you to recognize it. My Terra Firma Craft is labeled Terra Firma Craft. The main thing we want to look at here, though, is the game directory. By default, it defaults to the default Minecraft folder. You want to change this to whatever it is you, or wherever it is you want to store your Forge profile, your modded profile. So you could keep it there and just type in Forge. Foggy? Forge. That would create that folder, and everything would be dumped in that folder. There's nothing wrong with that. For this example, I'm actually going to wipe it out completely. I'm going to come over to here. This is just for visualization purposes. So I am going to have this folder. You right click, copy it. So that copies the path. Come back over here, and you can't right click, so you have to use Control V to paste it in. So this is going to be where our mods are going to be installed. Nothing too spectacular about this. You can set your resolution. So I'm going to do 1600 by 900. Whoa, that's a little big. 1600 by 900. That's just what I'm doing now. You don't have to set that. You can do whatever you wish with this. This is a handy feature, especially if you really don't like to have it that small window, or you don't want to have it full screen. If you want it kind of in between, this is an awesome addition to the launcher. This is not a Forge specific thing. There's nothing here that's Forge specific. You can change all of this for your vanilla stuff. This automatically Ask Mojang, I don't like having it on because I'm under the belief that this is a Forge based system now. This is not a vanilla. If there's something that goes wrong, there's a really good chance it's something to do with either Forge or one of the mods. So we don't want to automatically tell Mojang about this crap. It's not their problem. They have nothing to do with Forge. They have nothing to do with the mods. So there's no point in pestering them. Launcher visibility. This is a great option for me. I love this option. And other people can do what they want. I'm going to show you what I do. And here are your options. You can hide the launcher and then reopen it when the game closes. This is a nice option if the launcher being open causes you problems or just pisses you off. And I can definitely see how it would. Close the launcher when the game starts. That's your default option. Basically, as soon as you hit play, launcher closes, Minecraft opens. You close Minecraft and you're done. You're gone. Nothing else. Keep the launcher open. This is my preferred option. This is how it used to be by default before this option was put in, when it was still an early beta launcher. This gives me full access to the development console so that I can see what's going on with Minecraft at any given time. So if I have some weird quirk going on in game, I can flip over to the development console and see what's going on. This is personal preference. Same with the resolution. Same with the directory, actually. And the name. Pretty much all of this is personal preference. The only part that's non-optional is this version selection. When it comes to Forge, you do not want experimental builds. You do not want old builds, either the beta or the alpha. You want this version. That is it. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. You need that version. That is what the mods require. That is what you use. Here are your different options. This is also how you would upgrade. So if you upgraded a mod to, like for example, Ars Magica, it's 2.0. Say 2.1 comes out. It doesn't require a new version of Minecraft. It doesn't require new anything. It just needs a new Forge. Say it now needs Forge 925, which is currently the latest build. You would install 925, you would come back into this profile, and you would select 925. That's all there is to it. But that's not important at this point in time. Just keep that in the back of your mind if you need to. These Java settings, as far as I'm concerned, you should be ignoring that they exist. Unless you know exactly what you're doing with these, do not touch them. Just don't. You can read up on the options. That's great. But unless you know what's going on, don't touch them. So at this point, we pretty much have everything set up properly. So we're just going to hit Save Profile. And then we have to select the Forge, because it'll dump us into whatever top one we're in. So you select your Forge, or whatever you named it. And there you are. You're currently ready to play. But currently our folder is empty. We can't really do anything with an empty folder. We could manually create everything, but why bother? Just click play. As soon as you click play, it starts creating the folder. Creates all your log files. And there we go. Minecraft is now loaded up. And it's at the resolution that we requested it be at. And we're seeing what version of FML we have, what version of Forge we have, MCP or Minecraft version, and how many mods we have installed and active. Click on mods, and MCP, FML, and Forge. Nothing else. At this point, you can go in and change all of your options, move our music down, change sound, just whatever you want. You know, change it however you wish. But ultimately, we're going to quit the game. If we come over here, we can see we have our config folder, we have our mods folder, we have our resource packs folder, our saves, and our stats. These are what are separate. It only ever keeps the libraries in one location. That's the default install. Your jar file for the actual 1.6.4, that's in the default install. Those are never duplicated. Only what is needed is duplicated, which is the beauty of this system. So at this point, we want to get the mod in here. This is very simple. You take it, you copy it, you can cut it if you want. You can move it or copy. I'm going to copy it. You go into your client, go into your mods folder, and paste. That's all there is to it to installing a mod. We hit play, and Minecraft will load up. There we go. Again, at our preset size. And this is where I like having the launcher open. Because now I can see what has happened. So you can see that it's loading up all the Ars Magica 2 assets. Everything is loaded. Was there any crashes? Was there any problems? Now this is again just my personal preference, but I like to have this log open. So now we can create a new world. Let's create it creative and create new. Building terrain. And we now have our Ars Magica world. Isn't that great? This is Ars Magica 2 world, but ultimately this will work with any Minecraft mod. So I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial, just to prove that it's there. We have all of these fancy things. Look at me, I'm wearing something that looks really derpy. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. I hope this made a lot of sense. Let me know what you thought of this. Let me know how you feel about Forge, mods, everything. Let me know if I missed anything or if anything wasn't clear. I tried to make this as clear and concise as I can, but also keep it fairly open for variants. Anyway, thank you all for watching. You guys have a wonderful day. Take care.